and welcome to another episode of CFES Composters. I'm Bethany, and this is my co-host,
John. As of today, we have saved 244 and 2/10 of a pound from the landfills.
Today we will be learning about vermicomposting and
2-liter composting.
we'll see you outside. We are now here live with some of our vermicomposting friends. This is
Ezra, and this is
Marin.
They're going to be talking about vermicomposting.
So, what is vermicomposting?
Vermicomposting is composting with worms. Vermin meaning small animal, in this case worms. How do you do vermicomposting?
Well, there are many ways to vermicompost. We've used things called worm hotels, which are 2-liter bottles layered with soil, sand, and more soil, which we topped off with some scraps and put about 5 or 6 worms in, and they've churned out the soil, sand, and scraps in a nice compost. Also, we have a worm factory here, which we layered a bunch of soil, a ton of scraps, and we put in about 500 worms. Then the worms churn up all the compost, and once the compost reaches the top of the bed, we put a new layer in. We're about 3 layers now, and we're about to be on our 4th layer.
Nice.
What does it look like in here? What's in here? Well, right now we just got some damp newspapers on top, but if you peel back the newspapers, we got a bunch of scraps and some grass and like vegetables and maybe like some cardboard paper, and we've layered it on some soil, and there's a bunch of insects like fruit flies and maybe some mites and regular flies in here. And if you look really deeper, there's a lot of worms in there, but I don't really want to look that deep because it's kind of messy. But in the other layer, there's more worms, as you can see if you kind of dig up. But there's one right here. There's one. Yeah. So this is like really nice compost that's like already been composted, but some of the extra like twigs and bark and leaves are being composted by the extra worms that need more food. And then our deepest layer has not been the fullest amount composted yet, but it still is pretty composted. And there's a lot of worms here, and so they're getting all like the pumpkin seeds and pumpkin guts and a lot of the like leaves in here, and even got some sprouts growing from the pumpkin seeds because the soil's so fertilized. And they're kind of like the dark a lot better than the light, so I keep them covered. Wow. Yeah, we have 3 layers now. So why did you choose to do this kind of composting?
We chose to do this kind of composting to encourage little kids to actually get into compost because they like to play with the worms, and they would help fluff up the beds, and the worms fertilize the soil. Okay, so how many times do you need to come out here and do this?
Well, it's good to check on the worms almost every day because sometimes they get lonely, and it's also really good to every 3 days come out here and fluff their beds or soil so that way it doesn't get too packed in and too dark and damp, and so the worms can fluff up the compost so it makes it more airy. Also, it's good to put in scraps whenever you can because they help nutrient the soil a lot better than adding a lot more scraps. Okay. What fertilizes the compost?
Well, really, it's the compost itself, in which partially help fertilizes the soil. But it's also the worms themselves, in which create natural waste to help fertilize it also. Okay, how do math and science relate to vermicomposting?
Well, with math, it's mainly the ratios of greens and browns. A good ratio is always 1/3 greens and 2/3 browns, so that way it's not too wet and not too dry. Also, the amount of worms. We put in 500, but about next year, it should multiply up to 2,000. And with science, the big thing is classification. We can classify what kinds of worms we use, what kinds of scraps we put in, and even what kinds of soil we put in. Also, it's about the temperature that affects the worms. If it's more hot, and the bacteria help decompose going to do with this compost?
We're going to use it in our gardens, and what's left over we're going to sell for fundraisers and events.
Well, we'll see you at the 2-liter composters.
Welcome to the 2-liter composters. This is Logan.
And this is Callie. So Callie, how do you use the 2-liter composter?
Well, almost every day we come out here and we add scraps to it and water and we shake them up and roll them.
Why did you choose to do this kind of composting?
Well, we had a lot of scraps in our kitchens and we needed to get rid of those scraps and make them beneficial and have them help our gardens.
Okay.
So where do you collect your scraps for your composters?
Well, we bring them in from our kitchens and to help reduce waste from our homes.
What kind of scraps do you put in?
Well, we mostly add potato peels, banana peels, and apple cores, but definitely no citrus.
What are you going to do with the compost when it is done?
We're gonna put it in our gardens and have it. We're gonna harvest the compost and we're gonna put it in our gardens and make it nutritious.
Nice.
So once your garden is filled with some healthy compost, then what are you going to do with the rest of it?
Well, we'll sell the rest of it at our school's fundraisers and events.
Well, there you have it.
See you next time. Bye.